Hello students, welcome to the video tutorial of informatics practices for class 11th. Today we'll be discussing the first part of the chapter Python fundamentals. So in the previous video tutorials you have studied about chapter 1 and 2. So you have discussed there the differences between the hardware and the software and different components. So that was the things which basic computer requires. Okay, now we will be discussing about the Python programming language, and from here on we will be just discussing the programming part only. Okay, so let's begin. Now let's have a look over the contents. So first we'll be having the introduction of the chapter, and in this we'll be discussing that how this programming language evolved, okay, and how the evolution of this programming language resulted in a change in the programming environment, okay, and we'll be discussing how this Python programming language is different from other programming languages, that is .NET, C, C++, Java, etc. Okay, and then we'll be discussing about the Python character set. In this we'll be discussing that what are the valid character sets which are to be used in the Python program, and also we'll be discussing about some invalid character sets. Next we'll be discussing about the tokens, and these tokens will involve the different functional components of a Python program, that what are the different anatomy of the program. In this we'll be discussing about the keywords, the identifiers, the operators, etc. Next we'll be discussing about the bare bones of a Python program. So bare bones, as the name symbolizes, it will be discussing about the backbones of a Python program, that what are the most important components of a Python program and how they are affecting the functionality of a Python program. Okay. Next we'll be discussing about the variables and the assignments, and in variables and assignment we'll be discussing about the different types of variables we can produce in that Python program, and how that variables can be assigned in the memory, and how to use the variables whenever it is required. And then we'll be discussing about the simple input and output, and this will be providing lines of the input to the Python interpreter, and the Python interpreter will take that instructions and it will produce a output. Okay, and that output can be used further for the next lines of input. Okay, so because it is an interpreted mode, so already you know the difference between the interpreter and compiler, so we'll be using the interpreter of the Python program. Okay, now let's move further. Now let's start the introduction part first. Now as you know students, that today in this current scenario we are using different types of programming languages like C++, C, Java, Python, Perl, .NET. So among all these languages, the Python programming language has now gained so much popularity. And why it is popular now? Because the codes written in Python programs are very easy to understand and read. Okay, because they are written in so much English type language. Okay, so the words which you are using, the keywords you are using, which may appear or seem like yes they are being used for this purpose only. Okay, for example, if you need to delete something, you will use del. Okay, you need to, suppose if you want to just import something from any library, then you will use import keyword. Okay, so by the names also you can easily understand the codes. So that's why it has become now a very popular programming language. So let's see what is Python. Basically, Python is an open source programming language that was made to be easy to read and powerful. A Dutch programmer named Guido van Rossum made Python in 1991. Okay, so if you will see the release date of the Python programming language, it was in 1991. Okay, so the Java programming language was developed in 1995 and it was released in 96. Okay, so you can say that 91 is far earlier than 96, but still the Python was not that popular because so many libraries of Python recently developed. Okay, and it has finally got the final release in 2020. So you can say that because of the development of this modern libraries, Python was not that much popular earlier, but now it has become too much popular to be used. Okay, and why it is used? Because it has got some easy to read codes and implementation of these codes are very easy. Okay, and this Guido van Rossum, when developed this Python in 1991, he used to watch this Monty Python's Flying Circus. It was a comedy show, and inspired by that show, he named the Python programming language. Okay, and also he has used so many instances of jokes and all. When you are going to see some examples, you will find the similar jokes which was used in this flying circus of Monty Python. Okay, so let's see how this Python actually evolved from which language. So Python is an easy to learn yet powerful object oriented programming language influenced with two programming languages, that is the ABC language and the Modular 3. Okay, so these languages, ABC language and Modular 3, inspired Guido and Rossum to develop a new Python programming language. Okay, so now let's move further. Now let's discuss some Python pluses and minuses. Pluses and minuses here refers to the advantages and disadvantages of using the Python programming language. So first we are discussing the pluses, that is the advantages. So in advantages, first we are having easy to use. Okay, since this Python programming language is a high level programming language, so the codes and the syntaxes are written in such a way that it can be understood by anyone. Okay, so the complexity of coding is not there, so that's why it is very easy to use. Okay, and it is very programmer friendly as well. Okay, second is the expressive language. Now the codes of the Python are written in such a way that it can easily express the meaning of the code. Okay, suppose if you want to swap two values, then you will write a comma b is equals to 2 comma 3, and in the next line if you will write b comma a is equals to 3 comma 2, then you can easily swap them. Okay, so by the syntax only you can easily perform whatever the task you want. Okay, so it is very expressive. Next thing is the interpreted language. The interpreted language, you already know that in interpretation, once a line of code is written, then the output of the line is being given, then again the next line is inputted, and again you are getting the output. So line by line execution of the programming is done. Okay, and that's why it is very good for the beginners. Okay, so who are using the programming languages for the first time, so it becomes a boon for them. Okay, it is a very helpful and a handy language for them. Okay, next is the completeness. Okay, why it is said to be a complete programming language? Because whatever the libraries are there in Python program, it is coming by default with this. Okay, once you are going to download the Python software from the official website, most of the things which you want to do in the Python programming, you don't need to import any library extra. Okay, it is already having all the libraries which is required for functioning. Okay, so that's why you can say that it is a complete programming language. Okay, next thing is the cross-platform language. Why it is known as cross-platform? Because it supports varieties of platform. Okay, so it can work over the Windows operating system, it can work on the Macintosh operating system, and even it can work on your Android, that is on your smartphones. Okay, that is the another importance of this Python programming language. Okay, and this is another great advantage of it. Okay, it can support multiple operating systems. Okay, the same code you can run on various platforms. Okay, next is the free and open source. So free, you are already knowing that if you are going to the official website of python.org, you can download it. Okay, and it is also an open source. What does open source mean? That in a open source software, any modification or improvement can be done. Okay, so you are going to get the source code of that also, and if any particular programmer or developer is there who's interested in improving or developing some more codes in that, he can easily do it, because Python is an open source programming language. Okay, next is the variety of users and applications. This Python programming language has now got very much popular in the current or the modern technological fields. Okay, and it is being used in the scripting and in various web applications, in game development. Okay, most of the games are now being produced using this Python programming language. Okay, various database applications and in GUI programs also. Okay, so all these things comes under the advantages. Okay, now let's move further. Now let's discuss some minuses, that is the disadvantages of the Python programming language. Though it is very popular and it has got so many advantages, but still there is a flip side of this, and there are several disadvantages also of using this Python program. So let's see what is the first one. First is the not the fastest language. Now this programming language is very programmer friendly and it is very helpful for the beginners, but compared to the other programming languages like Java or other .NET and all these, here the execution time is slow for Python programming as compared to those languages. Okay, so you cannot consider it as the fastest language. It is fast, but it is not the fastest language. Okay, so it is slower as compared to other programming languages. Okay, so one of the disadvantages is this one. Second is it is having lesser libraries than C, Java, Perl, etc. Okay, so lesser libraries means whenever you are using any programming languages, there are certain set of codes which are already stored in the libraries. Okay, so the C, Java, Perl, all these languages are having more efficient libraries in them. Okay, so many more functions are written in this and you can import that libraries, but compared to these programming languages, Python is having a lesser library. Okay, so it becomes a slight disadvantage of Python programming as compared to the other programming languages. Okay, next thing is not strong on type binding. Now type binding means Python is not very strong in catching that type mismatch errors. Why it is so? Because you know that since it is a very programmer friendly, so the syntax has been written in such a way that you don't need to give any data type of the values you are giving. Okay, suppose you are giving a is equals to 5. Okay, and then again on a is equal to 5 you are storing a is equals to suppose any name. Okay, suppose Python. Okay, the same variable a has got different types of data types. Okay, now this is a problem for Python. It is not able to catch these differences. Okay, it will not complain you for the type mismatch. Okay, though it will produce an error later on in the programming language, but it will not allow you to know the mistakes at that time. Okay, so that is one of the disadvantage of Python program. Next is not easily convertible. Now the syntax of this Python program is very easy, so the codes written here are not easily convertible to other programming languages, because the other programming languages are having much higher standard syntaxes, a bit complex syntaxes also. So when you are going to convert the codes of Python to any other programming language, you will face difficulties. Okay, there is a complex procedure for that, so it is not easily convertible. Not easily convertible doesn't mean that it is not convertible. Okay, it is a complex procedure to convert the code of Python into other programming languages, but yes, it can be converted. Okay, now let's move further. Now let's see how to work in Python. Okay, so for working in Python you first need to download the Python from the official website. Okay, so for working in Python you need to download it from the official website, that is the www.python.org. and since it is an open source programming language and also a free programming language, so you don't need to worry about downloading it. There will be no certain cost for downloading it. You can download it freely from the official website. Now once you have downloaded it, it will provide you the interface of programming using IDLE. Okay, and IDLE stands for Integrated Development and Learning Environment, and this IDLE will be providing you two modes to work for programming. Okay, first one will be the interactive mode and second will be the script mode. Now let's try to analyze what is this interactive mode and the script mode and what are the differences between them. So next is the difference between interactive and script mode. So in interactive mode, instructions are given in front of Python prompt. Now these three arrows, whenever you will be opening the interactive mode of Python programming, or that is the IDLE, you will find these prompts. Okay, and in Python shell, and these prompt will tell you that you are working in the interactive mode. Okay, and when if you are switching to the script mode, you will not find these prompts. Okay, and Python carries out the given instructions and shows the result there itself in the interactive mode. So whatever the codes you are writing, you will get the output instantly there only. You don't need to go to some other places for the output. You will see the output there only. Okay, but the problem is there that the codes cannot be saved for the future. So whatever the programming you are doing, you can do easily, but that is for the temporary time. Okay, and when if you want to store your codes, then you need to switch from the interactive mode or you need to go to the script mode. So in the script mode, the instructions are stored in a file with .py extension. Okay, whatever the file you want to give the name, you can give it, and the extension will be .py, and these codes are executed together in one go as a unit. Okay, it will not be line by line. All the codes will be taken and executed in one go as a unit. Okay, and here saving of the instructions are done in the script file. Okay, so whatever the codes you are going to write, you have to write the codes in the script file, that is which you have saved by the .py extension, and this file is known as the Python script or the Python program. And since this file is stored now, so whatever the program you have written, it can be used in the future. Okay, so it is better to use the script mode, because if you have written any code, it will be saved there, and whenever you will be requiring to use that code, and even if you are trying to modify the codes, if you have having the saved version of the file, then you can easily modify. Okay, so it is always a better practice to use the script mode than the interactive mode of the Python programming. Okay, now let's move further. As we have discussed theoretically about the script mode and the interactive modes of the Python ideally, so let's now try to find out the practical difference between them. Now let's see practically how the interactive mode and the script mode looks like. Okay, now before seeing that, you first of all need to understand this thing, that whatever the codes you want to write in Python, you need to understand the needs of it first. Okay, whether you need that code for the short period of time or for the temporary period of time, or you want the code to be saved for a greater amount of time, okay, or that you can say for the permanent storage. So if you are storing for the temporary time, you should go for the interactive mode, because you will get the output instantaneously there and you can use that output. But if you want to save the file for the future use, you need to go for the script mode. So it is always better to have a practice of using the script mode only. Okay, as I have told earlier also, that the script mode is far better as compared to the interactive mode. But if you want the output to be quick and to be taken the output in the same time as you are giving the input, so you need to go for the interactive mode. Okay, so before starting the interactive or the script mode, you first need to download it from the official website at python.org. Once you have downloaded the IDLE, you can start working on it. Okay, now suppose first we are going here to the IDLE. Here we are typing IDLE. Okay, you will see this application, then you will go there, and in the application this is the interactive mode, because you can see the prompts there, 3 arrows, and here we are writing A is equals to interactive mode. Okay, since it is the interactive mode, and here we have passed this string. Don't worry about the codes, it will be explained later. And when you are going to write A, see, you are getting the output there only. Now if you want to work on the script mode, you will go to new file, and here you are getting the file option to create the codes, and here you will write A is equals to a script mode. Okay, and once you have written this code script mode, you can print the statement by writing print A. Okay, and first you need to save this file, because then only it can be used for future use. So you will go to save as. Okay, you can save any particular location for the storage of your file. Suppose we are storing it at our desktop, we have written the name, suppose b.py, and after writing the code we have saved it. And now if you want to run, you can go to the run and then run module, and you will get the output on the same page where you got the output of the interactive mode. Okay, so this is the practical difference between them. Okay, we'll be later on also discussing about the difference between the codes also when we'll be writing the codes of the Python programming. Okay, till then it's sufficient for today. We will be meeting in the next video lecture. Thank you, students.